A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development for millions of federal workers and the economy, a bipartisan group of U.S. senators has reached an agreement to end the longest government shutdown in American history. This resolution comes after weeks of intense negotiations, reflecting a fragile but promising path forward amid deepening political divisions. The vote on the first procedural step passed 60-40, with 7 Democrats and 1 independent joining most Republicans in support of the measure. This agreement will fund the government through January 30th, providing much-needed relief to over 800,000 furloughed employees who have faced financial hardships during the shutdown. The government shutdown, which began on December 22, 2018, was triggered by a contentious impasse over funding for border security, particularly President Donald Trump's proposed wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. What started as a routine budget dispute escalated into a historic shutdown, surpassing the previous record of 21 days set during the 1995 to 1996 standoff under President Bill Clinton. By the time the shutdown reached its 35th day, it had paralyzed key services. National parks were closed, air traffic control was disrupted, and unpaid workers resorted to food banks and credit cards just to survive. Throughout January 2019, negotiations faltered repeatedly. Democrats condemned the shutdown as an unnecessary hardship inflicted by the White House's rigid demands, while Republicans accused the opposition of obstructing national security priorities. The human cost of the shutdown became starkly evident. Coast Guard families skipped meals, Smithsonian museums remained shuttered, and IRS tax refunds were delayed. Economists warned that the shutdown could drag on GDP growth, with estimates suggesting it cost the economy about $11 billion by its conclusion. At the heart of the newly reached deal is a compromise on funding levels and timelines, averting a prolonged crisis just as the January 15th deadline for a short-term spending bill loomed. Senators agreed to allocate $1.375 billion for border barriers, considerably less than the $5.7 billion initially sought by the administration, but coupled with enhanced funding for border technology and personnel. This package also includes disaster relief aid for hurricane-hit states and increases appropriations for agriculture and veteran services, addressing broader congressional priorities that had stalled during the shutdown. The agreement, which was spearheaded by moderate voices like Senators Susan Collins, Republican Maine, and Joe Manchin, Democrat West Virginia, incorporates provisions for a 90-day delay on stricter immigration enforcement measures, providing breathing room for comprehensive reform discussions. Crucially, it guarantees back pay for all federal workers once operations resume, acknowledging the bipartisan outcry over the personal impacts of the shutdown. Lawmakers from both sides hailed the pact as a win for the American people, though some hardliners expressed reservations about its concessions. President Trump, who had vowed not to bend on wall funding, reluctantly endorsed the deal in a White House statement, framing it as a step towards stronger border security without declaring it a full victory. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, a key Democratic negotiator, praised the resolution as evidence that common sense can prevail over chaos, emphasizing the need to prevent future shutdowns through budget reforms. On Capitol Hill, the mood was cautiously optimistic, with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell scheduling a vote for later this week to fast-track the implementation of the agreement. Advocacy groups, including those representing federal employees, expressed profound relief, although labor unions called for longer-term protections against such disruptions. Economists predict a quick rebound once agencies reopen, but lingering effects on consumer confidence and small businesses near federal sites could persist for months. This bipartisan deal underscores the fragility of America's divided political landscape, where routine funding battles have repeatedly threatened government functionality. As the nation eyes the 2020 elections, the shutdown serves as a stark reminder of the costs of polarization, potentially influencing voter sentiment on issues like immigration and fiscal responsibility. With a new spending framework in place, attention now shifts to unresolved challenges, including healthcare and infrastructure, as Congress works to rebuild trust in its institutions. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.